Hello everyone, my name is Kieran. Welcome to Manchester United versus Burnley match review. United come away with a 3-1 victory. A second half performance, really. A good second half performance. Again, a first half performance that left a lot to be desired, I think. But in the end, we got the job done. And probably that is top 4 secured now. I don't see any other team, catching us. Maybe catching us in second, maybe Leicester. They have got the game in hand after playing the FA Cup tonight. But actually, in terms of top 4, I think it is pretty much done now. 6 games to go, 11 points clear as it stands inside the top 4. We're in a very good position. We're in a very, very good position, and I'm very, very happy with how the game went. I'm not happy about other stuff that went down, other ideas, let's say, that went down, that came out really today before the game. So we'll get on to that in just a second. Just want to say welcome to everyone. By the way, I do apologise I was a little bit late. I was on a call unexpectedly. So, I had to postpone it for half an hour really. But thanks to everyone for joining in. Rich, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. We will be talking about the European Super League. If you want to hear more about that on Rich's stream, then make sure you check out Rich's review of the game. Make sure you do check it out. And Kobe says, #no to Super League. Exactly. And we have to take a stand against that. We're going to talk about the game first and foremost, but we do need to talk about that as well. Jamie as well, echoing the sentiment, fuck the European Super League. Yeah, you can't really say anything other than that. I think it sums up the mood, really, of all football fans right now. It's unbelievable. I mean, you know what? I think we should start with that. I mean, even though this should be a review of the game, we may as well start with that because realistically, let's not beat around the bush. What is the football is dying right now. As we speak right now, the announcement is going to be made at 9:30. I don't know whether that announcement is still going to go ahead. Hopefully not, with all the reaction that has been happening. But it's sad. It's just sad. That's all I can say. It's sad. It's frustrating. It's somewhat inevitable. It's somewhat inevitable with the way that these guys, these greedy people, run these football clubs. And yeah, it's a sad day for football if this does get approved. Obviously, governing bodies, UEFA, FIFA, Premier League, FA, have all come out and said they wouldn't support this and they wouldn't give any sort of any sort of permission for any of these clubs to join this league. And I'm 100% with them. I'm 100% stand with them on that. And I don't care that United are involved. In fact, it's a disgrace. It's just sad that United are involved. A club that I've supported my whole life is involved in this stuff. And it is sad. It is so sad. And it's something which we're probably going to have to get used to with these owners. Until these owners are removed, until there's some sort of system in place where these owners can't get away with exploiting these situations, we need to make it so money doesn't rule. And I know it's difficult because money always talks, but there has to be some sort of regulation. There has to be some sort of way we can make it so that money's not the only thing that talks, and that fans actually have a voice and have power in this game. Because I can guarantee you that 99.9% of football fans out there, whether they're fans of the clubs that will be in this Super League or not, do not want this to go ahead. They know how perilous this is for football. The football pyramid in this country is the reason why football's so loved in this country. You look at the American formats, for example. They're all the same. They've all got Eastern and Western conferences, and then you play each other. No relegation, no promotion. And yeah, it kind of works because it's an American system and it's over there. America's a big country, whatever. I can kind of understand what they do over there. It is for money reasons as well. But, I can understand it. The fact that America is such a big country and it would be difficult to have one league and stuff. I still think they should try and get promotion and relegation in, but I can understand it a little bit more. But the idea that there should be a European Super League, no relegation, no promotion, the same teams every single year, I just think these people are so out of touch. And as I said, we should know this by now. These guys don't like football. They've never liked football. None of these owners give a rat's ass about football. Ed Woodward, not a football man. The Glazers are NFL merchants. They don't care about football. The real football, and I know if there's any Americans I might have offended you, but the real football, the sport that's watched by half the world's population. The World Cup, I think, was watched by about 3 billion people. The last World Cup final. And the idea that they think they can just come in and mess with it is sickening. It's sickening. And as I said, if you've tuned in for a review of the game, I mean, if you really want me to speak about it, I can give my thoughts on it. I mean, it was a good win for United, obviously. But if this deal goes through, it really does just make it seem meaningless at this point. So what if we get second in the league? If this thing actually goes on, it doesn't matter where we finish. Because we're going to be in this Super League anyway. If this actually happens, bollocks to this season, honestly. What does it matter? I mean, I don't know. It's really, really frustrating. It's just sad. I think that's the biggest emotion. This should have been a day where we were celebrating another Manchester United win. We didn't play the best, but we got the 3 points in the end. Mason Greenwood had a wonderful performance. But this was a day where we should have been celebrating that. But we can't. We can't. With all this going on right now and all the developments, it's hard to really celebrate a win. It's hard. It really has taken the gloss off it. Brit's joined us. Thanks for joining, Brit. Appreciate it, mate. Hope you're doing well. Adam and Dazza, thanks for joining. Dazza, I will get back to you. I do apologise. Like I said, I was on a call, mate, but I do apologise. I will get back to you, mate, on that one. Rich says, less money in the Super League. No one's paying to watch it. I think there's something... there's probably something in like the television deals for it, because obviously if it's like all the best teams aren't going to be playing in their leagues anymore, the TV companies are just as money hungry as these owners. And the TV companies, as soon as it's announced, I can guarantee you Sky Sports put in a bid for it. I guarantee you Sky Sports, BT, BBC, all these broadcasting companies will be queuing up to bid for it. And they're the same people that have pundits saying that it shouldn't happen. And I agree with what they're saying 100%. But it's not them that's the problem. These big TV companies need to boycott it. I think if the big TV companies boycott this and don't go towards the money, if the TV companies don't cover it, then who's going to watch it? The TV companies have to step up big time, in my opinion. But there you go. Jamie said it's a joke. I agree, mate. 100% agree. Britt says no consequences for being rubbish in the cup. Exactly. What is the point? What is the point? As you said, ESPN have already put in a bid. Exactly the problem. The problem here is that no matter what any pundit says, no matter what any fan says, the TV companies will be queuing up. If this happens, the TV companies will be queuing up to buy it and cover it. Because they know if they get the rights to cover it, there will be loads of fans going, oh well, I might tune in and watch it. But I'm telling you, if they don't cover it, if they just say, you know what, bollocks to you, bollocks to your plan, you can play your games behind closed doors, no TV cameras, that will make it a lot better and a lot more likely that this idea wouldn't go ahead. A lot more likely that it would start to lose money. And as it starts to lose money, they'll second guess this idea. They'll think against it. Matthew's joined us. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. He says, I thought my 1-1 prediction was nailed on for a bit, but so nice to finally beat those at Old Trafford. Exactly. Well, I agree. And Owen Joyce as well says, thoughts on McTominay masterclass today. I'm not sure he had a masterclass, but he wasn't the worst player, to be fair. Jamie says, if BT and Sky Sports have sense, they'll refuse to show the European Super League. Unfortunately, they love it. Money. Exactly. Jamie, you hit the nail on the head, mate. You hit the nail on the head. These money-hungry companies are just as bad as the owners of these football clubs. Because these these companies are, television companies are owned by foreign billionaires. I mean, Rupert Murdoch. I'm not sure who BT are owned by, but all these guys that own these companies, even though they're coming out and seemingly speaking against it, they will be the first ones going there and saying, oh, how much do you want for us to cover it? We really want to cover it. We want those viewing figures. So to me, it's meaningless what they say. It's meaningless what the likes of Sky Sports, BT Sport, BBC, all these guys say, unless I actually see some action in terms of, no, we're not going to cover it. We're not going to cover it. Owen says, watch out, Kieran Avram might see this, no holiday. Listen, as I said, if this doesn't prove that I'm not a Glazer sympathiser, then I don't know what does. As I said, I've always said this, I'm not a Glazer sympathiser, and tonight is the biggest example of that. Tonight is the biggest example. They don't care. They do not care. They are not football men. They've never been football men. They are money men. And however much they want to try and convince us that they're all about the fans, they want the fans, anything they ever say about, oh, we just want to do the best thing for the fans is absolute bollocks. Because of this. This is the final straw for me. And I know it was probably obvious before that, but it's the final straw for me. Simple as that. Simple as that. On a line, I know Rich says 6 points versus Burnley this year. Yeah, I mean, as Matthew said, it's refreshing to actually, do the double over them. The first time we've done the double over Burnley for 46 years. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But you know what? They've done really, really well in that game, to be fair to them. I don't want to patronise them, obviously, but they kind of did what Burnley usually do, and it actually nearly worked. They scored that goal after 40 minutes, and I was thinking, here we go. Here we bloody go again. With Burnley and these long balls into the box. And they caused problems all afternoon, but unfortunately just couldn't take their chances when they fell to them. Henderson looked a bit erratic, I have to say that. He did look a bit erratic for the first goal they scored, which was subsequently disallowed, and also for the some of the other challenges he tried to make. In the end of the day, we got the result. That's all that matters. But as I said, I'm probably not going to be live for too much longer, but I'm happy to talk about this European Super League as long as you guys want to address it. I mean, in the end of the day, if there's not much to be said, it's just an objectively bad idea. And realistically, if it goes ahead, I don't know what I'm going to do with my support for Man Utd. Because, all my instincts tell me I should be watching Man Utd week in, week out. Because that's what I've always done. But, if they go into this European Super League and turn their back on all their history, everything that's made this club what it is, then I'm after to pay the favour. This is why it's so sad, really. It's so sad if this. That's why I don't think it's going to happen. I have faith that this will fall through, and even if it does fall through, our eyes have been opened. They don't give a shit, and in some ways, it's the best thing that our eyes have been open to this because, I mean, we kind of already knew that, but it's good that we've actually, seen the light now. I think everyone now will know that these owners do not care about us one bit. All the adverts that might come out saying that we're the first priority, all the rubbish, all the rhetoric that they'll spout from their mouths in the future about the fans and how important we are, it's just rubbish. It's just absolute rubbish. So as that being said, if this does go through, which I don't think it will, because I just think the backlash will be way too much to deal with, I just think, if it does go through, and hopefully it doesn't, I think United will lose a lot of fans. And I know some people will say they're plastic fans. I think some people will say, oh yeah, well you're turning on your club just because they're going to a different league. I'm turning on my club because they're not my club anymore. As simple as that. They don't represent us. And to be fair, they never have represented us. They've never represented the fans. And, sorry. What? Sorry. Anyway, I don't know. But anyway. Brit says it won't go ahead. It can't. I hope you're right, mate. I hope you're right. He also says football is bigger than any club. Exactly. I mean, also this European Super League, as Rich you said, it'll get boring after a while. I mean, what? There might be a trophy for whoever wins it. Who cares? Like, in the end of the day, yeah, I know competitions like the EFL Cup and the FA Cup have kind of gone down in stature, but they're still rated, and they still mean something, and they're still I would much rather win nothing for the next 20 years if it meant we didn't have this European Super League. Honestly, I'd rather win nothing for the next 20 years. I agree, Rich. It says, it's clear they don't give a shit. I agree. I totally agree. Just because Henderson is wearing a cap, you think he played badly? Well, yeah, obviously on the... But, I mean, listen, I said that Henderson was a bit shaky today, and to be fair, he came for a few crosses, and it didn't seem that he really... I don't know, he seems a lot more confident, or he has been a lot more confident in games than he was today. I don't think really he was that confident today in when he came out. I mean, he flew out, but he was just nowhere near the ball. And... you know, Burnley clearly kind of worked on that. They clearly knew that Henderson was going to come out, and they scored within, 15 seconds? So, if his toe wasn't offside, it would have been a completely different game. I'm not saying he's a bad keeper. I'm just saying that today he did seem a little bit erratic. By the way, no, it was actually a noise that was made just outside my room. I laughed at that. It was just a weird noise. That's what made me laugh in the end. Not this situation, because it's not funny. For God's sake, why has it done that? Oh no, we're back. Hopefully we're back. Okay. Yeah, but I agree with you, Adam. I agree. It is a sad state of affairs, really, because, you know, Man United have always kind of been that club which, you know, the values of Man United have always seemed to shine through. You know, whether it's been the introduction of youth. You know, throughout our history, we've always had young players coming through. You know, these values that have stuck with us, and unfortunately, you know, you can only do so much when you've got owners like that. You can only do so much, and it's a sad state of affairs. It's a sad state of affairs. Well, who knows, mate? Who knows? Cody says Henderson looked like he was trying to impress. He did come for a few crosses, but yeah, it was poor. But in the end of the day, we got the result. He got the result. In the end, I know he made he kind of made a few errors. I mean, the first goal probably, if it did get counted as a goal, it would have gone against him. But to be fair, you know, he did all right. He did all right today, overall. He didn't actually have to make many kind of like sprawling diving saves really, but he did what he had to do. Tenzin, thanks for joining, says, I would like the Super League if they force United to spend 100 million every summer. That ain't happening, mate. If anything, they're going to save as much money as possible. But also, here's something I thought about. If we were to join the Super League, do you reckon the Premier League would let us buy any of the Premier League teams' players? Not a cat in hell's chance. They would just block all transfers from the Premier League. So that means so in the end of the day, sorry, I read a comment that just can't be true. You're just trolling at this point, mate. You're just trolling at this point, and it's, yeah. I mean, you can have whatever opinion, but I mean, that's surely a troll. Adam says, hopefully this is a sign as a punishment. The Premier League removes the owners, a fine for them is nothing. Well, something's got to be done. That's all I've got to say. Something's got to be done. But it's, as I said, it's just a sad... it's one of those things where, you know, we always heard the conversations about a European Super League. It was always banded about that this sort of thing could happen. And we all just, you know, rightly sat there and every season when it came up, laughed and just said, that is the most ridiculous idea, and it gives us something to talk about once a week every year. You know, it gives us something to talk about. You know, there's a bit of banter about who would get in it, who wouldn't, and that's it. It's done and dusted. It's a banter point. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's a point for some mindless discussion every year. And I could take that. Even that was a bit crap, but I could take it. But the idea of it actually going ahead, and I know the announcement's coming in about 15 minutes, if it does indeed go ahead with the announcement. Yeah, I just... Yeah, I don't know. Brit says, my opinion, the FA would kick out a club not involved with UEFA. Well, no, UEFA and FIFA have already come out and said that the teams that will be participating in this, any players that play for these clubs, will not be allowed to play in the Euros or the World Cup. And I'm 100% with that. I'm 100% with that. Because if the players don't get on side with it, then this has got no hope. Because what's going to happen? What? You're going to play Barcelona reserves versus Man United reserves. You know, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping the players take a stand against this as well. Because sometimes they're guilty of not being down to earth with the fans. Sometimes they're guilty of it. So, not just the fans, but the players themselves need to recognise that this is a shocking development. And if they do that, if they all boycott, what are these guys going to do? Rich says, Spurs will be the equivalent of Italy in the Six Nations. Invite someone shit to join so good clubs never finish bottom. Exactly. It's just... I mean, Spurs... it's ridiculous. I mean, the whole idea is ridiculous anyway, but... Spurs getting in it when they haven't even won a Europa League. No Champions League. The furthest they've got in the Champions League is what? Quarterfinals? Oh no, they got to the final, didn't they? Sorry, but still. Owen says, in all seriousness, Spurs being in the Europa Super League is hilarious, but it's Daniel Levy trying to keep Kane and guaranteeing European football. That is... I mean, I tell you what, if he's doing that, that is the biggest ploy in the world. To keep a player like Kane. That's ridiculous. Maybe true, mate. That is maybe true. The players couldn't care less. They would earn two times their wages. I mean, no, you'd find some players that want to play in it. But I just think... Surely, if you've got a conscience... And you've been a football fan yourself. You know what it's like to be a football fan, to watch football, to watch the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, the Premier League, playing in the Premier League, playing in these historic competitions, supporting your teams. These players know how that feels like. All of those players were fans once. And so if they were the ones who... boycotted, it would be a huge statement. I think fans should do the same. Fans should do the exact same. But if the players do it as well, that is a massive statement. Because if the players boycott, there's no games anyway. But anyway, listen. Obviously, it's going to happen in about 10 minutes' time. I probably won't be live by then. I was only going to go live for a short period. But a little bit on the game. I'll finish off with a little bit on the game because I feel like, we should talk a little bit about the game. Even though, as I said, if this does go ahead, this game's meaningless anyway. But, I thought the second half performance was decent, especially in the last 10-15 minutes. We were clinical today. When we got our chances. Greenwood was man of the match for me, undoubtedly. He was brilliant today. His second goal, the deflected one, was obviously fortunate, but... He was very good today, Greenwood. I thought that Fernandes, even though he didn't actually get a goal or assist, actually had a fairly decent game. Pogba as well. I thought Pogba played well. And actually, Donny Van De Beek, when he came on, made a difference. Obviously, he came on when it was, I think he came on when it was. Did he come on when it was 2-1 or 1-1? I'm not sure. No, I think he came on when it was 2-1. But he made a difference. He made a massive difference. Got the assist for Cavani's goal as well. And Cavani, of course, coming on and getting the goal. That half-time sub was just brilliant from Solskjaer. We criticised Solskjaer for not making subs early enough. But to bring Cavani on at half-time was 100% the right move, and it proved to be. And, arguably you could have brought on Van Der Beek on as well at the same time. But, I thought his substitution was spot on. I'd give Ollie a 10 out of 10. I really would. Again, the final thing really for me to take away is once again, defending from set pieces are absolutely abysmal. Tarkowski bullied Wan-Bissaka and Maguire. You know, it's sad, really. It's sad that we still are talking about set-piece goals. The amount of times this season we've been talking about, poor defending from a corner or poor defending from a cross. And, you know, Burnley, being the masters of scoring set pieces, said, thank you very much, we'll take a goal. And, yeah, it is frustrating, but we got the win. And as I said, you know, I should be, you know, really happy about the win, should be, you know, buzzing about a game that I think a lot of us thought was going to be difficult. A lot of us thought, and it was difficult to be fair, but a lot of us thought we might not get the 3 points, and we did, and we should be celebrating that. Probably not as hard as the Arsenal fans celebrated their 1-1 draw with Fulham in the 96th minute, but that aside, you know, we should be celebrating it. But tonight it's hard to do that, really. It's hard to do that. But anyway, last few comments, and then I'm probably going to end up. By the way, make sure you check out Rich's stream as well after this. He'll be going live for his match reaction at 10, so make sure you do check it out. Kobe says, Magaloff acted like Chris Wood was R9. Yeah, to be fair, Chris Wood is someone who always comes alive at Old Trafford. He loves playing at Old Trafford. He loves playing against us. And tonight he was actually pretty decent. Obviously didn't get his goal, but he caused problems for that back line just relentlessly. We found it difficult to deal with the balls into the box. I thought Maguire wasn't too bad today, to be fair. I think even though the goal that Tarkowski scored arguably was partly his fault, you know, I think Maguire didn't have a bad game today. I thought defensively we actually dealt with it pretty well. It's just that, you know, we did concede that goal. So the defence aren't going to get a high rating really from me. But, yeah. Tender says Kieran should usually react to the announcement as it may ruin football. I mean, to be honest with you, mate, I'm fully expecting them to announce it, but I think they will have a U-turn on it. I think there will be a U-turn. I just don't see how they're going to carry this on. I don't. I fully expect them to actually come out and put the statement, because I think they planned the statement. If they've gone too far with the planning, they've gone too far with it. So I just don't think they're going to cancel it. I don't. But I think in due course there will be a turnaround. There has to be. There has to be. Rich says there may be more swearing on my stream. Yeah, I know. I've kind of kept it a bit. I mean, if United have lost, trust me, it would have been over. Would have been game over. If United had lost today, I think it would have pushed me over the edge. That, but it's. I mean, the thing is, I'm angry, but I'm also just sad. I think sad is the prevailing emotion I'm feeling. It's just a sad state of affairs, really, a sorry state of affairs, and that's why I'm not like really, really angry. I'm just disappointed. You know, I'm not surprised, just disappointed, really. But I hope it turns around, and I think it will. To be honest, I think it will. So my point of view is I don't think we'll have to worry about it, because I don't think it's going to go ahead, and I hope I'm right. But who knows? But anyway, on that note, you know, we should have been celebrating a very positive win for us, a win that pretty well secures top 4, even though some people would say we already had it in the bag before then. But still, it's a decent win. You know, let's not take away from the performances of Mason Greenwood, you know, Bruno Fernandes, Donny Van De Beek, Cavani, and the whole team really tonight was decent. So let's not take away from them. They played very, very well. But yeah, let's just hope this whole thing blows over, man, because this would be the final nail in the coffin for football. It really would. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Thanks for being loyal and supporting the channel. Always do appreciate support. Hit that like button if you aren't already. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are new around here. And if you're watching the video, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below as well. Thoughts on the European Super League, whatever you want to put down there, please do. And yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of buzz on social media in about 7 minutes' time. So we'll see what happens with that. But until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Cheers.